We are here today with Hiroshi Tamura, who's known as the father of Nissan's iconic GTR. And today, this is his latest baby, the 2017 model. Tamura-san, thanks for joining us. Obviously a very exciting day because it's with this model you've actually brought the GTR to India.
Yeah. Thank you for waiting about so long time.
So it's taken a long while for you to bring the car to India, isn't it? So you must be quite excited now.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for introduce about for the new excitement for the Indians guy.
And first time driving in India as well for you?
Yes, I'm very happy to drive.
Well, we're going to go for a quick spin with Tamura-san in the GTR, and he's going to tell you what it's all about. So Tamura-san, you're driving here in India on Mumbai roads. They're not the best roads.
No, it's fantastic.
Quite bumpy. But tell me, how do you, the suspension, how have you kind of, let's say, taken it to the next level with the 2017 model? Because obviously it's a lot more compliant, there's a lot more, let's say, suppleness in the suspension.
Yeah. You are saying about for suspension, but it's true. But actually, we also put on some special body shell.
Okay.
This is for like a chassis system. Suspension is a, let's say, spring.
Right.
And shock absorber or bushes. But included about body shell, which call for body damping effector.
Right.
So we notice about for the body shell, body construction, body metal.
Right.
Normally, we never ever change about for minor change level of the body shell, but we didn't want to forgive up about for touch the body shell. Then, let's say, like a suspension damping system installed in the body shell.
So what you're saying is there's a little bit of compliance in the body shell as well. The body itself acts as one large piece of a torsional metal.
Exactly. It's slightly difficult to understand because
Right.
body is just a body.
Right.
But
Given it.
okay.
Yeah, you got your toll receipt?
Oh,
Thank you.
so let's see. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry, you were saying?
Actually, for a body, it looks like just a body.
That's right.
But, we notice about for the one of the suspension system, include about for body shell.
So did it mean a lot of matching, let's say, the properties or the torsional properties of the body shell with the suspension, the spring rates and the dampers? Because you got to have both of them kind of, let's say, synchronized in a way, because each one has their own natural frequencies as well.
Yeah, it's a very tough to understand and slightly too much specification system, but it's very important for not only for the spring and damper. We have to consider deeply whole total balance of the body shell with some appropriate each other corner of the damper or spring rate or even such a kind of, how can I say, time frame, like a frequency time frame, front and rear,
Right.
or front rigidity number,
Right.
or rear rigidity number.
And do even things like the bushes play a very important role, because you need even finally, let's say in countries like ours where you've got very sharp frequencies with potholes and things like that, even the bushes, I guess, must be a very important.
Yes,
item.
very important. And actually, we didn't change about for tires. Tire is exactly same of the previous 15.
Right.
But how to work, how to grab the road surface by appropriate suspension system. That is a very important for the such a kind of super sports attitude, behavior.
Right, and obviously we are. I think you prefer to be in comfort mode. I think on this road.
Quite frankly, we put on 3 modes. One is a very normal type of the mode.
Right.
One is for more R mode, which is more stiff.
Right.
But for let's say, to go to your office, to go to some long journey, you need about some comfortable mode. So that's why we install about for comfort mode, and this road is appropriate.
But you took a long time getting the GTR to India. So obviously you must have had a lot of concerns. Were the road conditions a concern for you in India? I mean, how this car would perform, or were you quite okay with that?
Yeah, but it depend on for some customers, how can I say, attitude. Because of the, how can I say, road clearance, meaning is how to keep about for their high speed or some high, how can I say, for long travel.
Right.
For the
cruising.
Yeah, cruising.
Got it. Yeah.
Then our philosophy, a GTR of the GT meaning Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo for the
So long journey. Also, you can enjoy about for GTR of the some super sport seat.
Okay.
By road clearance issue, like this kind of gap.
Right.
Yeah, still, hard suspension, but you can accept.
Yeah, you can feel a few of the sharp edges here.
Right.
Yeah. Now this is welcome to Bombay. Now, Tamura-san, obviously the big issue is fuel quality. This car is rated for 98 octane. We have 97 octane, which is okay. But do you think 97 octane is okay?
Yeah, it's tough to say. It's difficult to say it's okay, but please make an appropriate number to install because of the the very important meal for the engine is the fail number of the octane or something.
Right, so obviously you need an important meal or the right diet for the engine. We have 97, that's the best we can do in certain cities. But I want to ask you, there are certain customers who will be in cities where you don't easily get 97 octane. So would you recommend occasionally octane boosters for this car?
Yeah, also this is depend on the quality. So which means for...
You mean the quality of the octane booster?
Deposit or gum, such a kind of quality, please control about as much as possible.
So does Nissan have any recommendation for octane booster in which it doesn't leave the deposits and things like that, or you just leave it to the customer to choose a good one?
Sorry, I don't have any recommendation right now, but please keep about again appropriate number and appropriate quality.
Right.
And for super sports, always such a kind of looks like a tiny but a very important treatment, not only for fail like engine oil or so many maintenance.
Right.
I would like to offer to you about some entertainment for a good condition as much as possible. So please keep the maintenance.
Right.
For the Nissan Performance Center.
And well, obviously, just coming to the fuel, other than 97, we have maybe 91 octane, which is really low. So, in terms of the engine, how does it control the knock? Do you have enough knock sensors as well?
Yeah. Actually, for power itself is decreased.
Right.
By such an advanced technology, meaning is a more some firing system is calculate about for appropriate number to firing.
Right.
But this is no problem because we put on some regular map or some appropriate map for control about for this octane number.
Right. So what you're saying is if there is a lower octane number, it might just retard the engine. The power will decrease, but it may not damage the engine that much.
Yeah, no damage.
Right.
No problem.
Okay. So
but at least 91.
Yeah. Yes.
Like a regular.
Yes, a regular one.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's interesting to know that basically what you're saying is that use the best fuel. But hey, did you see that speed breaker? Not bad. It went over it quite okay. So anyway, coming back to the fuel, what you're saying is try and get the highest octane number. If you don't, it won't damage the engine, but you lose the performance and power.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is for a fair, for treatment.
Right.
But broken down is very dangerous for the customer.
That's right.
That's why we have to control, be careful about for some just in case condition. Also, some of the country people mistook about for fill up, about for high octane number or versus regular sometimes.
Right.
In this case, as also we will be able to protect about this situation.
Right, so the engine is protected for a lower octane number.
Yeah.
Okay, Tamura-san, that's great. Now, let's talk about the changes from the earlier GTR to the 2017 GTR. The sense one gets, it's in terms of power, a lot of people were expecting a lot more power, but firstly, the engine only 20 horsepower up. What's the thinking in that?
Yes, but actually, we didn't chase about just the dot number. It's an important point is a more flexible or transit. Like a 60% over, we install about for additional torque.
Okay.
It's not single dot. It's a more line. So
What you're saying is not a single maximum number, but how the power and torque is delivered, which you worked on.
Right. It's a more important point is like a line management.
Okay.
But I'm sure we have to say more than 1D for the 2D. It's line management and also like a composition.
Right.
3D.
Right.
Because we are living in 3D world.
Right.
So 3D is actual world.
Right.
So we have to manage about for whole of the quality 3D. Like a very important point is some composition, like a hard shell.
Right. So what you're talking by 3D, you mean the entire balance of the car, the entire package.
Yeah, it's like a slightly philosophical of the, let's say, general explanation.
Right.
But people love to talk about for power number or maybe circuit of lap record.
Right.
I respect about these kind of, one single dot because it's a, let's say, business car. I'm a Nissan, chief product specialist of GTR, okay. But you don't know about my character. Character must came from a more line, my history or something. But again, face to face, you can feel about me more 3D. It's actual work.
Right. Okay, that's an interesting explanation. And coming to the other changes, obviously the interior.
Yeah.
That was one issue we had, I think, with the earlier GTR. It was very honestly very much like a mainstream Nissan, so to speak.
Right.
You've obviously got customer feedback and made this a bit more premium.
Yeah.
So was that one thing, one feedback you got, that you really had to make the interiors a bit more luxurious?
Yeah, let's say for premium, because of the luxury is more, luxury.
Right. So a bit of you want a more premium feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Premium meaning is a more sophisticated or some like not only chase about for some luxuriness.
Right.
It's some super sports of the attitude.
Okay.
We need to have some premiumness of install about for all of the interior. Meanings for premium driving for the super sports, meaning more easy to access about for each function, like a driver's oriented, like a cockpit.
Right. And so obviously you've used a lot more premium materials over here, a lot of double stitching. Obviously this is part of, let's say, is this from feedback you got from customers also?
Yes, and also for our intention for make about for matureness.
Yeah, just 1 second, give them that rolling. De pass. Okay. So, another big change which you've done is on the paddle shifters over there. You've obviously mounted it on the steering wheel and it's no longer on the column like it was.
Yes.
So, can you explain, was that again is that the way forward? Because I think the turns from lock to lock are a lot less now, so you can have them on the steering wheel and easily operate them.
Actually, for two opinions. One is a fixed type,
right?
But the other one is on the steering.
Right.
Steering wheel is much easier to contact, and sometimes people said, "Oh, it's 19 degree or over 19 degree. We've never ever shift about up or down." But I don't think so. Sometimes we need to do like that.
Right.
So it's mean for a flexibility standpoint. It's also on top of for a steering wheel. It's much better for easy to drive for the operation.
Right. Coming back to the engine this sort of an engine, obviously cooling is a major issue. So you've done a lot on the cooling side, isn't it?
It's a major issue. It's the always trade-off point.
Right.
Because of the, you said, issue. We would like to put on some appropriate or great number of the power or
Right.
even torque.
Right.
But on the other hand, to say how to cool down. If we put on some more big radiator,
Right.
we will have some weight penalty because radiator is a bigger, meaning the more bigger water we have to install.
Ah, okay.
But if we put on a more bigger mouse, bigger intake cooling system,
you can reduce the
Yeah.
radiator size.
right, reduce or keeping.
Right.
Then for keeping is looks like a good idea, but unfortunately for bigger mouse, it's a bad damage for the coefficient drag number or even downforce.
Okay.
That's why
Wow.
we
So
have
a
to.
lot of trade-offs you have to balance.
Right. That's why we had to change about for all of the exterior design for
Right.
catch up about for this number because I don't want to lose about for coefficient drag number or even downforce.
Right. And this is a dual clutch gearbox.
Not exactly new, but we upgraded about so backlash or how can I say for bearing is
Right.
more
Yeah.
good durability
Yeah.
or reliability.
Yeah. But it's dual clutch, right?
yeah, direct clutch is
Yeah,
same.
yeah. What about the sound? I mean, that's also a very important part of the GTR experience, isn't it? So, what have you done to the sound quality from in the new model?
We install about for some, titanium muffler,
Right.
which is for more good sound also. Mainly the purpose was is lightweight, but also good sound, and also some cut of the noise for the shell. Shell is a very nice, keeping of not quiet, selectable noise.
Right.
Meaning
right,
is
right.
I don't want to put on for that noise,
Yeah.
but I do want to get in welcome into the for good exhaust note.
Got it.
So note and noise is quite different.
That's right. So you cut out the road noise, the tire noise, mechanical sound, and focus on things like the exhaust, which sounds good to the customer.
Yeah. For selection about for the frequency by frequency, that is for new idea.
Right.
Maybe already you drove about for the previous model, 2008 or 9 or 10. It's much improved about for such a kind of.
Oh, absolutely.
I cannot say quiet, but some of the like a peaky edge, we eliminate.
Right.
More for the comfortable or more long journey and select about for some excitement noise.
But Tamura-san, you still have a few Nissan parts over here. The buttons are a little carryover, maybe the stalks.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an issue, or customers don't really care?
For more important is the performance or something
Right.
like a fundamental point by GT philosophy.
Yeah, they want the performance. They are
Yeah.
not into, let's say, having that absolute finer, exclusive bit in the car. if I'm right.
Because of the other keyword, accessible. So such a kind of 570 horsepower of the accessible price. Of course, it's not cheap price, but the other hand to say, the other 570 cars, how much is that?
That's right.
It's for accessible. Sometimes some part we need to carry over for the, I don't want to say cheap one, but the appropriate level.
Right, yeah.
Because keeping about for appropriate accessible price.
Right. That's a good point. So what you're saying is, how many other 570 horsepower cars do you get at this price?
Like that.
Yeah, that's right. And
Even not only power, like good handling,
Yeah.
total balance.
a lot of technology
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's right. So there's a lot of technology which you don't see. And that also is, let's say, what makes the performance accessible. Like you've got a very sophisticated traction control system,
Right,
isn't it?
right. With, intelligent all-wheel drive system.
Yeah. Right.
It's not two-wheel drive system. It's a more...
Intelligent all-wheel
Yeah,
drive.
yeah.
That's right. And obviously the bias is towards the rear, isn't it? How have you kept the bias between the front and rear in terms of...
It's a calculation by rear side, and if one sweep about rear to provide for the front section.
Right.
By like a linear, automatically.
Right. Tamura-san, tell me, who is a typical GTR owner? Is he someone who just wants the performance and the sheer driving thrill? And he's not too worried about the brand and, let's say, the absolute design and things like that? I mean, what's a typical GTR owner?
Actually, for like a typical car lover or enthusiastic super sports lover,
Right.
of course, our customer. But even important is some active lifestyle or life stage. If he or even she spend the time, this kind of some proactive guys, ladies, is our customers.
Right.
Then some of the appropriate budget you need to pay. This is also for important point.
Okay. Well, Tamura-san, we just come back. Thanks very much.
Oh, thank you.
And it was really good. How did you enjoy driving on Indian roads?
Yeah, it's fantastic. That was very nice to have my experience. But I'm sure that's body shell or our technology also work into your country.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
Tamura-san.
so much. You're
Thank you.
welcome.